Hello, everybody. So my name is Amanda Gibney, and I'm the head of school in the School of Civil Engineering. The School of Civil Engineering is located on the UCD campus, and I'm going to talk a little bit about both UCD campus and civil engineering itself, and then talk about our programs in the School of Civil Engineering. So I'm going to share a few slides with you. Let me just share my screen. Start the presentation. Okay, so hopefully you can see my screen there. So in terms of UCD itself, UCD was founded by St. John Henry Newman in 1854, and it's a leading research-intensive university, and it makes quite a significant contribution to Irish society. It's in one of the top 1% of higher education institutions worldwide. And the campus in Dublin, it's a 133-hectare site, which is quite, parkland type of site with facilities and buildings and world-leading facilities. We have over 33,000 students from all across the world in UCD. And amongst that number, we have 12,000 graduate students. Important to us also is our societies, our student societies. We have more than 70 student societies and 55 sports clubs. And those extracurricular activities are available on campus, and they are, as I say, a very important part of the student experience with us in UCD. Let me just talk a little bit about civil engineering itself. So civil engineering, the school is in the top one in the QS World Subject Rankings in Ireland. In recent years, we celebrated our 100 years of the discipline in UCD, and the school is expanding, and it has currently got 23 academics who are all proactive researchers. So research is an important part of what we do in our school, and it also forms an important part of what we do as part of our programs as well, for our taught programs. So the research being undertaken in the school would be in the areas of structural dynamics, earthquake engineering, wind flow and computational dynamics or fluid mechanics, structural health monitoring, behavior soft soils, material behavior, which would include bituminous materials, concrete and soils as well, transport policy and modeling, and critical infrastructure resilience and sustainability. So that kind of captures a lot of the research activity that happens within the school itself. On our Belfield campus, we have about 100 undergraduate students and 70 graduate taught students. And we also would have 40 graduate research students who would be engaged in both tutoring and demonstrating in our undergraduate programs and our taught graduate programs. Our students come from all around the world, and currently we'd have about 25% of our students would be from outside the EU. So I want to talk a little bit about our programs themselves, and I suppose the kind of skills and competencies that you would get through our programs. So our master's offerings, particularly, they would deal with the design and construction and the maintenance of the physical and natural built environment. That would include the design of bridges, buildings, roads, dams, and works relating to the management of water resources. So the contribution of civil engineers to society is quite substantial and can be seen both at an urban and rural development level. For example, seeing the supply of safe water, flood protection measures, which are becoming increasingly important, and also transport infrastructure, again, which is an important part of both rural and urban life. Our taught master's programs would particularly develop your ability to identify and formulate complex problems, civil engineering problems, and to analyze those problems. As I mentioned earlier, so a significant research project as part of your taught master's enables you to develop the skills to design and conduct experiments and to apply standard and specialized research tools and methods of inquiry to the work that you're doing. And that would be, you would have a supervisor, who you would work with, but you're also, I suppose, given a lot of free rein in terms of your ownership of the project, of the research project. And that's, developing that ownership of a project is something that's very important. So those sorts of skills, they're key attributes for lifelong learning and for continued professional development. And particularly in a society that we're living in, which is ever evolving. You develop, numerous and problem-solving skills, and also, these will provide access to professional careers in civil engineering, design, and construction. Also, policy development is a big area, project management, business and finance, and other areas. So a kind of typical academic week for our taught graduate students would include lectures, tutorials, laboratory sessions, group design projects, and also individual assignment work as well. And these would be complemented by leadership roles, interacting with undergraduate students, and a series of presentations, your written thesis, and an oral examination in your written thesis as well. Our assessment is a combination of continuous assessment throughout the year and also end of trimester examinations. So these would test your academic ability, but the assignment strategies also develop your written and oral multimedia communications and leadership skills. And these would be the skills, again, that are required of a professional engineer as well. So just to talk about particular programs that we have within the school, our 2-year Master of Engineering programs would include an 8-month work placement in industry. And all of our taught master's programs, again, just to say again, reiterate that they incorporate a significant research project as well. So the first ones are our Master of Engineering in Civil, Structural and Environmental Engineering, and Associate Professor PJ Purcell is our program director for that program. And this is a 2-year professionally accredited program suited to civil engineering graduates with appropriate prior learning at the kind of level of honours BSc in civil engineering. The program provides advanced learning in the fields of civil, structural engineering, water engineering, highway, geotechnical and environmental engineering. You'd have a significant choice, across modules in all of these areas of civil engineering throughout the program. The second one, which I mentioned, is our Master of Engineering in Structural Engineering with Architecture, and our program director is Associate Professor Arturo Gonzalez. And this is a 2-year accredited program, again, suited to civil and structural engineering graduates with appropriate prior learning in architecture as well. The program provides advanced learning in the fields of structural engineering, coupled with the study of architecture modules as well. So there would be also innovation leadership and professional engineering management within the program. The next program I want to talk about is also a Master of Engineering program, and this is in civil engineering. And Assistant Professor Jennifer Keenan is our program director for this program. Now, this is a 2-year master's program where the first year of study is undertaken in UCD on the Belfield campus, and the second year is undertaken in Columbia University in New York. So graduates from this program would obtain a master's program from both institutions. So in the first year, you'd study structural design, geotechnics, water engineering, and you have the option then of an 8-month work placement in the spring and summer trimesters. Students would be required to maintain a second-class honours grade 1 performance and faculty recommendation then for acceptance to Columbia University for the second year of the programme. I'll also mention here the Master of Engineering in Civil with Engineering with Business, and this is a programme which is the program director is in mechanical engineering, so Nicholas Costas. But it's open to civil engineering students or students with civil engineering background to take this engineering with business program. And what you would do if you're taking it as a civil engineer, you would take core modules in civil, structural, water engineering, highway and geotechnical engineering. And these would be then coupled with core modules in business and management as well. We also have 2 1-year master's programs, and our 1-year master, these are Master of Engineering Science programs, and these are taught across the autumn, spring and summer trimesters. The first one is our Master of Engineering Science in Structural Engineering, and our program director is Arturo Gonzalez for this again. This is a taught program which would be suited to either civil or structural engineering graduates who want to specialise particularly in the area of structural engineering. So there'll be a combination of core and option modules in structural engineering topics and a research topic in an area of your choosing. And you have the ability to tailor your learning to the kind of aspects of advanced structural engineering that are of most interest to you. You'd also study professional engineering management, energy systems and building, and environmental assessment and management as well. And the learning experience you would have in terms of your autumn and spring trimesters would be lectures, tutorials and studio work and group and individual project work. And the final summer trimester then is primarily devoted then to the structural engineering research project. The second one-year master's in Master of Engineering Science in Water, Waste, Environmental Engineering, and our program director here is Assistant Professor Fiachra O'Loughlin. And this program focuses on the concepts of theories of water, solid waste treatment, and environmental protection. Analysis, design, and management of treatment facilities, including flood protection systems, are included. And through the program, you develop the ability to collect, synthesize, and evaluate and analyze data. Oral communication and written communication skills are also developed through the program. You would then work on an environmental research project throughout the year, but again, primarily the work would be undertaken in the summer trimester, but there's pre-work to be done in the autumn and spring trimesters for your research project as well. So typically, the sort of work that our graduates would progress to in their careers would be consulting engineering, contracting, public agency work, so working with public agencies, research work, so further studies are working with a research institution, education, further education. Others would go into business and information technology and project management and financial services, and also some would move to law as well. Key employers of our graduates would be ARB, RPS, ESB International, Jacobs Project Management Group, the Environmental Protection Agency, O'Connor Sutton Cronin, AECOM, Walls, Accenture, Glanbia. So just to name a few, those would be companies where and institutions where our graduates have progressed to in recent years. So I suppose there are a lot of opportunities with the two-year masters, particularly our students who go out on placement find that when they return from their placement or their internship, they usually have an offer of a work placement then for their graduate work. So that's certainly it's a very big draw that the 8-month work placement can lead to a work placement, to a job after you're finished your masters as well. So I suppose that's a brief introduction and a whistle-stop tour of civil engineering and the programs, the top masters programs that we offer. I'm happy to go into any more detail or to answer any questions that you have, and either that or to get back to you as well if you have any further questions. So that.
Very much, Amanda. That was as you said, a whistle-stop tour to the programs within your school. But I think it's interesting for attendees to kind of learn what's on offer and what it has, what the school has opportunity-wise for students. So thank you to everyone for listening to that, and thank you, Amanda, for giving that great presentation. In case anyone missed it at the start, if you do want to ask us any questions, you can use the Q&A button, which is located at the control panel at the bottom of your screen. Just type your questions in there, and we're happy to answer them now. Or if you want, we do have a number of students and some other staff available on our virtual stand today, which is located on the platform that you're on. If you want to head over there to the chat room and just type questions there to some of our students that we have on stand to get that kind of student experience, what it's actually like to study at UCD, you can do that. Or we're going to be having a college open event in April. So that's a college specific kind of open event for our master's programs, where we'll have students giving presentations on their experience and also some alumni joining us talking about their career journeys. I'll pop a link in the chat to that now, if you just bear with me. You can register that. It's just Eventbrite. It's April 5th and 6th. And it'll be broken down by, school again. So we'll have a specific session for civil engineering. So it'd be great if you could join us for that if you're interested in applying for us as well. I'm also going to pop my email address in the chat also. So you can send me an email afterwards if you don't have questions today, but you have questions when you're preparing to apply for us, or want to, narrow down your decision, or you have choices to make, you can reach out to me, and I'm more than happy to set up a one-to-one call with you, a Zoom call, a phone call, or just answer via email if it's something very simple as well. So my email address is in the chat there as well. So I don't think we have any questions coming for attendees, but Amanda, I wanted to ask you maybe one or two that I know we always get, and that's specifically for civil engineering. I suppose we want to know what the career opportunities or what the industry is like in Ireland at the moment, and maybe where our graduates are ending up after their degrees.
Yeah, so I suppose the industry in Ireland is extremely buoyant at the moment. There are a large number of companies who are crying out for civil engineering and structural engineering graduates, and those in the water area as well. So, the job opportunities are there. I'd say primarily our students would tend to go into consulting engineering, but as I said, in the presentation, there are a large range of opportunities available to our students through the programs, so they can go into project management, go into business, go into information technology. But I would say the vast majority of students would go into consulting engineering, followed probably closely by contracting engineering as well.
Right, I think that's good for attendees to know who are potentially obviously wanting to do a degree for career purposes. So the fact that there is great opportunities to be had in Ireland is a big plus. And also for students, as far as career supports while you're in the course, we do have a UCD Careers Network team. We have a specific skills consultant for our college who will work with you on a one-to-one basis on CV and resume skills, interview skills. They will do lunchtime seminars with companies. They also do 2 big career fairs a year where they invite companies on campus to meet our students. So there's plenty of support there for students while they're actually doing the courses with us to make sure that they're putting their best foot forward when they're finishing the degree to get a position and a job afterwards. And then, as Amanda said, if our programs offer, the 2-year programs offer internships, and most students find this really beneficial looking post-degree for getting a job afterwards. It's kind of like an extended interview process that the companies are looking at the internship placements as, which is great. And then also, Amanda, I just wanted to ask a little bit, and you kind of talked about a little bit of some of the supports available to students within the course, as far as, we do have like open door policies for academics, and I know the academics are very approachable, but is there some other supports that our students are able to avail of?
Yes, well, I suppose across the university, there's a lot of supports for students. In terms of student welfare, we have a student advisor in the College of Engineering and Architecture, and again, fully open door policy to talk to student advisor about any issues that arise within the school itself. You're right. Our academics are very available to students, and students will come to talk to us about the modules that they have with those academics, but also about other modules. We would have modules such as case studies, which would look at kind of whole building projects, and they're undertaken in teams. And obviously there's, geotechnics, structures, civil issues to do with all of those. And so all of the staff would be available to help out at any stage with student groups who are working on those. We do have a laboratory, so we have technical staff and we have administrative staff here in the school as well. So particularly, when we're doing research projects or any lab work, the lab technicians are at hand, to assist with any issues that might arise within the lab. And then also our administrative staff are very registration or anything like that. So yes, there's quite a lot of support, and you've already mentioned the Careers Network, who we would work closely with as well throughout our programs, and they do have a key role within the internship program as well, and the development of student CVs and that preparation for going out into the workplace. So yes, we would be very I suppose connected with them. We also have a student society, so the Civil and Structural Engineering Society, and that society organises as well, which would be, I suppose, outreach to industry. So in September, October of every year, we would have, and it's been online the last couple of years, but we're hoping for in person in the coming year, where industry would come in and be available to talk to students about work. So it's of interest, obviously, to our students who are looking for internships, but also those who are going, will be graduating within a year or two. It's very beneficial for them to talk to industry and to find out about the kinds of work that they might like to do, and the sort of subtle differences between one company and another, and to kind of see which way they'd like to head.
I think that's really great for our students, that there's plenty of supports there available, and there's plenty of opportunities for them to engage with our academics. And as you said, the student society is a great opportunity as well to meet other students from other, within civil engineering, but maybe not in their particular programs as well, which is great. Amanda, I have one more question for you before we finish up. And obviously the research project or the thesis that students do as part of the degrees is a really important aspect of the courses that we offer, and something that students are really interested in. How do students select the project topics? Are they given to them? Do they come with their own ideas? Is there any opportunity for collaboration with industry for those? If you could give us some insight into that.
Sure. Yeah. Well, in fact, the students who undertake the project, they're generally, particularly in our 2-year programs, they're coming back from their internship. So we encourage them to, while they're out on their internship, to look within a company at issues that are coming up, because companies are quite busy, and obviously when things come up, they don't have time to spend a lot of time. They're designing, they're getting things out, getting construction is happening. Things are very busy in an office situation, and there isn't always somebody to take the time out to do research on particular areas of interest. So these do come up with industry quite often, and if it's something that the student has been working on or are particularly interested in, it's nice for the student to bring that back, and to be supported in undertaking that research. They would have support from the academic staff, supervisor, but also from the industry people that they've been working with as well. So that's obviously an opportunity. Industry do come to us as well with projects that they're interested in. And we can accommodate those. We do have some students who would work in laboratories within companies as well, that they're supported in undertaking work, which might be both laboratory and field work. And that again is a great opportunity to see what's happening actually in the industry. We do have, if people are not sure what they want to do, we do have our academics will put a list together of topics that might interest the students. So I suppose there's quite a range, and we do encourage people to think about what they'd like to spend their time on, because it's a long time that you spend on this, and you get quite deeply involved in the research itself. So we like it to be something that you have a keen interest in, and therefore that you're invested in. And if you come up with your own topic, I think it helps in that.
Yeah, it helps that you're kind of committed to a particular area, and also it's as an area you're interested in, you're also going to find it more interesting to do, and also easier probably to do if you're genuinely interested in this.
Exactly.
Yeah. Great. Thank you so much, Amanda. I think we're going to finish there. We're kind of nearly bang on time. So yeah, Amanda, thank you for joining us today.
No problem.
Our attendees for listening.